7. Fired but freed. Let's talk about something that hits hard. Getting fired, let go, written up, pushed out. It stings. It feels like failure. Like everything you gave wasn't enough. Like they finally found a reason to dismiss you. But here's the deeper truth I've come to live by. Sometimes you didn't get fired, you got freed. You see, when your spirit no longer matches the atmosphere, the place has to reject you. You won't be able to stay where your assignment is over. Even if you try, it'll feel like everything's turning against you, because your season has shifted. I've had jobs where I showed up early, worked hard, kept the peace, and still got let go. No clear reason. Just budget cuts or, we're going in a different direction. And for a while, I blamed myself. What did I do wrong? Was I not good enough? But later, I realized I outgrew the space. Spiritually, the atmosphere could no longer hold what I carried. And instead of staying stuck, God allowed the door to close for me. Some of your greatest upgrades come right after a layoff. Some of your deepest revelations come in the silence after a shutdown. Because when the job ends, the real work begins. When I got let go from one place, I didn't realize I had been spiritually suffocating. I was shrinking. I was hiding my gifts. I was operating below my calling just to keep the peace. And the moment I walked out of that place, peace hit me like a wave. God whispered, "Now I can use you again." Getting fired was my rescue. It forced me to remember who I was. It reminded me that my identity wasn't in a paycheck, it was in my purpose. Sometimes rejection is protection, and release is realignment. And if you're reading this and just lost your job, pause, breathe, and ask God what He's doing through this. Because He's not punishing you. He's positioning you. You weren't fired. You were freed. From smallness, from compromise, from being surrounded by spirits that couldn't stand your light. Now, walk forward, with boldness, with clarity, with peace, and next time you leave a job, whether you quit or got let go, leave with a blessing, not bitterness. Because what's next is waiting for you to be whole. Chapter 8. Your work, your worth. One of the biggest lies we're taught is this. What you do is who you are. Your job title, your role, your performance review, your production numbers. But if you've ever lost a job or had to take one below your potential, then you already know. Your worth can't be measured by a position. I've worked jobs where I gave my heart, showed up early, stayed late, brought peace into chaos, but still got overlooked, still got talked about, still felt like I didn't belong. And in those moments, I had to ask, do I only feel valuable when I'm being praised? Have I tied my self-esteem to how they treat me? The truth is, many of us have. The workplace has a sneaky way of making you forget who you are. They dress it up with titles, awards, and bonuses, but none of that feeds your soul. Because when you go home, when you're by yourself, it's not your job that defines you. It's your spirit, your essence, your calling. Some of the most powerful people I've ever met worked in silence. They weren't managers. They weren't supervisors. But they were anchors. They held the team together. They brought peace to the building. They carried wisdom, strength, and divine authority and didn't need a badge to prove it. That's the kind of power this world overlooks. But heaven? Heaven promotes what can't be seen on paper. I had to remind myself. I am not my pay rate. I am not my uniform. I am not their opinion of me. I am light. I am chosen. I am sent. Whether they acknowledge it or not. And once I stood on that truth, I stopped seeking validation from people who didn't even understand what they were sitting next to. Some of you reading this are doing more spiritual work than physical. You're healing people just by showing up. You're shifting atmospheres without saying a word. You're being used by God in places where they don't even believe in Him, but they feel you. That's work. That's value. That's purpose. Don't ever let a job break you. It might provide your check, but it doesn't define your worth. You're more than what you do. You're more than how they treat you. You're more than the system will ever give you credit for. You're divine. You're chosen. And your real work is spiritual. Chapter 9. The Exit Interview. They always ask the same questions at the end. Why are you leaving? Anything we could have done differently? Would you ever come back? But the truth is, the real exit interview doesn't happen in the office. It happens in your spirit. Because when God releases you from a job, whether you quit, get fired, or just know it's time, there's a deeper conversation waiting. What did I learn? What did I carry in and what did I carry out? Was I on assignment or just on autopilot? Some places were never meant to last forever. They were classrooms, boot camps, refining fires. And when the season ends, the most powerful thing you can do is reflect, not regret. I've worked jobs that broke me down, had supervisors who didn't believe in me, coworkers who drained me, hours that exhausted me. But I've also had divine moments even in those places, where I knew God was using it all to build endurance, to sharpen my discernment, to help me see behind the scenes. And now, I don't leave bitter. I leave blessed even when the blessing came wrapped in pain. See, the exit interview is where you gather the real gems. The wisdom, the patterns, the confirmations of your growth. You realize, who you are can't be boxed into a job title. Your light was too big for that space anyway. You weren't there just for a check, you were on a mission. So now, before I leave any place physically or spiritually, I do my own review. Check mark, did I honor my assignment? Check mark, did I let anyone dim my light? Check mark, did I leave with peace or with residue? Check mark, did I grow? Because the way you leave sets the tone for where you're going next. And every exit is a setup for your elevation. You are not just a worker. You are a carrier of presence, a disruptor of darkness, a vessel of light. And if you made it this far, through spiritual warfare, sabotage, and burnout, then you're not just exiting. You're graduating. So the next time someone asks, why'd you leave? Just smile and say, because it was time to fly.